Hi guys, and welcome back to a studio vlog. We're actually going on a bit of an excursion at the beginning of this one. All the way back in January, my partner and I went to Barcelona for a few days, and whilst it was still a little bit overcast, it kind of made us forget a little bit that we were still in the dead of winter and had a really nice time. This is actually, I think, maybe my fourth time going to Barcelona, but it's my partner's first time. So we did a few of the touristy bits, such as go inside the Sagrada Familia. I have done this before, but that was over 10 years ago now. So some things have changed, but it's still not built. But we did actually go up one of the towers, which is something I'd never done before, and also it's spectacular and gorgeous in there. But yeah, ultimately I didn't want these clips to just be rotting on my hard drive, and I thought I would share them with you at the beginning of this vlog, and I will check back in with you when we are back on British shores. Speak to you soon. Good morning everybody, how are you doing? Are you having a good week so far? Today is Monday, so my week's only just begun, and I thought I would do a little week in my life video. As you can tell, I'm kind of not really ready for the day, but made a coffee, and yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to bring you along with my creative endeavors. So I've got two notebooks in front of me. I do actually quite like when I'm able to have Mondays off on my day job, because that means that I can actually, I don't know, plan everything how I want to. So I am going to, I have like a big to-do list which is mainly done, but also there are some bits on it that are not, and I have a new to-do list that I need to make. I figured we could go through this together. I feel like I've mentioned this before. I have this Papier weekly planner. It's not dated, so you can start using it any time of the year, and I must admit I find the like weekly plan page really helpful, but like the daily plans, I'm the type of person that once I've like shut this book, I'm not really thinking about it. I feel like I need some like a whiteboard or something. So the things that I need to get done this week are, this morning I need to write an artist statement, which is actually could be for absolutely nothing, or it could be something really, really exciting. So I need to write an artist statement for a project I did a couple of years ago at this point. If it's out in the open, which if it is going to be, it will be this week, I will tell you more about it and more about the situation, because at the moment I don't really know. But yeah, so I need to write an artist statement. That is like number one on the docket, is to write that. From my previous big to-do list, I have 3 mini prints that I want to make. So I did, as part of Printer's Solstice, for the contrasting colours, I did this tomato plant, which seems to have gone down really, really well. Anyway, I want to make a trio of citrus fruits, the same size. So this is like A6, like super small, easy peasy, but I want to make them reduction linos, which I have never done before. So I feel like, you know, when something is like 2 or 3 colours, and obviously the stalks could be, unless we're talking about the limes, can be a completely different colour to the fruit. I think that there'd be a nice smaller project to try out that technique. If you don't know what reduction liner cut printing is, so do I have a prop here? I used to have a liner absolutely everywhere. So reduction liner cuts are basically, you have like your standard piece of lino, and instead of, if you want to use multiple colours, instead of using, you can do something called the jigsaw method, where you like cut it out and then fit it back together and print it as one. You can layer them on top of each other. So this is what I did with this one. So what I did is I had some red circles and then a green stalk. So this is one layered on top of the other. Or you can do something called reduction printing, which you use the same piece of lino and you just keep on printing and keep on chipping away at each colour stage. It was pioneered by Pablo Picasso. I'll actually link down below. There's a video I think by like the Harvard printing press, I think it is, which actually explains it really well and shows you really well how it works. I think for me, because when I see reduction lino prints or people that do reduction lino prints, they're really, really intricate, and I'm honestly quite intimidated by it, because if you get it wrong, that's it. Like, because like say you're making an edition of 20, and like it's got 5 layers, you're essentially printing something 100 times. These people that are doing like 10 layer lino cuts to get these really like sort of like gradients of color, fantastic artistry, like, honestly. Like truly I'm in awe. But you know, I don't think my work is particularly intricate. That's not my style, so I feel like maybe that imposter syndrome is a bit poorly placed, but it is a technique I definitely want to try out, just for a bit of fun, just to kind of, and also I feel like even if I then don't really start doing it, it's given me more practice of cutting linos, so a winner in my book. Anyway, so I do want to do something actually very, I guess, similar to this, but for limes, oranges and lemons. So I want to do those, and because I think they can be quite quick, she says, famous last words, I want to get those done. Basically, I have some new emulsion to mix up for screen printing, and if you screen print, you know, once you mix that emulsion, it's a ticking time bomb for how photosensitive it is. So I'm trying to get as much lino stuff out of the way as possible before I start doing some screen printing stuff, because yeah, as I said, this kind of, I've got a few screen print projects that I want to do, but I'm waiting to get a bunch of lino stuff out of the way. Although one thing I do else want to do is take a photo. I bought a disco ball because I want to do a disco ball screen print. I don't know if this has been just me waffling about reduction lino prints. Anyway, so essentially what I'm going to do is I am going to really think about what I can get done this week and on what days, and then I'm also going to write that artist statement. And I'll probably see you around lunchtime. It is currently, I think, like 10:30. Okay, user printing. Sorry, I look really dark. Can I? Oh, I've also turned my coffee machine on. Can you tell? There you go. You're welcome. Hi, I'm back. My artist statement is off. As I said, hopefully I can be less cryptic in the rest of the video. And do you know what? Even if it doesn't work out, I'll tell you once I know that it's not worked out, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna make a coffee. But whilst that's happening, I thought I would do plan of the video. Now you may have noticed behind me, the eagle-eyed viewers behind, oh my god, look how dark my lipstick looks if I do this. The eagle-eyed viewers of my background may have noticed that there's some plants missing. That's because they're having their 6th monthly bubble bath. So this is the first lot. I'm about to take them all back out and exchange the second lot of plants. So I would just say plants, the video. Although actually, let's pick one. I would say this one here. This plant here I got from the B&Q sales section, and let me tell you, she is thriving. I usually do like succulents. Oh, I forget what these type of plants are called. It's like benenium. I must have fucked this one up because I didn't really know how to take care of it. They I do in the sink. The others I do in the bathtub, but obviously I move them so I can, like, you know, clean my teeth. But yeah, so I've now planned what I'm doing which day. So I'm just gonna get my plants in and out. Basically, if you're into plants, hang on, you can probably hear my fan, let's talk about this somewhere else. If you're big into plants, maybe you do this too, but basically I would say sort of like the first week of March and the first week of October, I give them a big bubble bath, and by bubble bath I mean I just put them in the shower and shower them. And then in March, sort of after I've given them all a bath, and I'll give them all a good trim and sort of say goodbye to all the leaves that didn't make it through the winter, and then also check if they need to be repotted. Oh my god, I have 3 spider plants. 2 out of 3 of my spider plants are like so root bound, it's crazy. But so far the other ones are just kind of popping out a little bit at the bottom. So, and then sort of into March and April, I repot them. I am going to bring all my plants back out and put some more back in, I think. And I literally make a list. I'm like so close to almost it being a spreadsheet, honestly, to just be like, okay, what needs to go where, what size are these, etc. Anyway, so here's a montage of me moving prints. That's probably what you expected, because this is a printmaking channel. Plants. Hello my dudes, it is voiceover Alice once again, and I realised whilst editing this video that I didn't film any landscape footage on my camera, only stuff on my phone, which is really annoying because in this clip of me cutting paper you can see my camera, and yet I did not pick it up. So I wanted to take you through the process of me making some of my most recent prints, and as you can see I chose to pick a really colourful paper stock, and the reason is I was kind of really inspired by like old 90s like rave posters, or almost those like when you're in like a mum and pop shop and they've got like those like money off stickers. Like that was kind of like my inspiration, but also my other inspiration was women. I don't know, and I just think basically I'm doing a live laugh love print, spoiler alert. The reason that I wanted to do one is because I think sometimes you might look at me and think, oh, she's not like other girls, and indeed that I feel like that about other people, but that actually couldn't be further from the truth. I've personally never worn a pair of Uggs, but they look really comfortable, you know, and like all that type of thing. And like as I'm recording this, I think Taylor Swift had a new album out yesterday. People are really excited about it, and it's like nice that people are excited. It's okay to like things that are popular. Anyway, so this was kind of like my ode to women, making a live laugh love poster. And also I wanted to use my letterpress, which I haven't really had the opportunity to use that much. Anyway, as you can see, I bought some paper stock. I believe this is 300 GSM, but I also did some in white, which is 200 GSM, and I made a lino cut frame, which I also intend on using potentially for like other letterpress or other prints and stuff, because I just think it's like a nice size. It's 5x7. And yeah, I've already cut that out and everything. And what's a bit annoying is I have to do this print in 3 parts. So obviously I'm doing the lino cut frame here, but then I also needed to print the live laugh love letterpress in 2 parts, because the letterpress that I bought off of eBay didn't have all of the bits and bobs that I wanted. Anyway, so here I am doing a test print with just some paper stock that I had from a sketchbook. As you can see, I ripped it out, and here's a little brief intermission for actually what it sounds like whilst I'm printing. Alrighty, with all the disclaimers and inspiration out of the way, let's get into it. So as I mentioned, I need to do this in 3 separate parts, and there are 2 reasons for that. So of course the lino cut and the letterpress have 2 different depths. So if I tried to print them at the same time, it would just print the letterpress, because it's definitely a lot more deeper than the lino. I decided to do the lino first because it almost does work as a frame. I feel like it would be easier to
get the text level in the frame rather than the frame level with the text. But in theory, you definitely could have done it around the other way. And the second reason is because my letterpress doesn't come with all the letters that I wanted to for this one. If I could do it all in one, I absolutely would. I have come up with a bit of a nifty way to make it as straight as possible, which you'll see a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, if I could do that all in one, I would. But anyway, so here I am inking on things up, and I wanted to talk a little bit, I guess, through my printing process as well. So as you will see, I use both a hand burnishing like bamboo baron and also a press as well. And I don't want to say that I'm like superstitious when it comes to printing, but I've just found through experience, I think with this print actually I probably didn't need to do both of them, but definitely with stuff where it's got a lot more detail, I want to make sure, well, why I do it to begin with is because I want to make sure it sticks properly and is less likely to like slide about when I actually do the press. So I'll do just like a quick run over with the baron before I press it, but then I do like to go over, for example with this print, I like to go around the outside, to make sure that it's all going to be on the impression that I want. But if there's any like details that I really want to, so if it's something that was a bit more detailed, as I said, like a lino, I would make sure I go over those bits specifically with the bamboo baron. I feel like it's, you know, maybe an extra 90 seconds when you think about it, but in personal experience, I feel like it's worth doing. But you know, you totally could just use the press. This one is obviously one that you use your own body weight, but there's the roller ones I imagine you wouldn't have to do that with. But anyway, that's how I like to do things around here. Anyway, as mentioned, so we started off with the frames, and I really like how they look. Even without any text in, I think they look kind of fun. As you can see, these I did on A5s because I cut those A4 pieces of paper in half, but the print itself is actually 5x7. So I decided to just print the frames, and wherever they printed, but as you would have seen, that I do also have registration tabs, which if I was to be doing not letterpress, I would use the registration tabs, but because the letterpress is quite thick and the depth of it, again, I've got another little DIY hack to get around that, to make sure that everything is nice and straight and where I want it to be. I definitely have a very DIY set when it comes to using specifically letterpress. So there are a few things that I like to use to make the print as clean as possible. So first of all, I like to tape all the letters for each word together. It just makes printing with them so much easier, less things that can fall over, not only because there's less parts, but also it's more sturdy because it is all one. And then I also like to make a cardboard frame of all the letters I want. As I mentioned, this one I'm having to do in 2 separate parts, but live, laugh, love can fit in that, and that's what I want. And for each corner, because the letterpress all has the same depth, I take spare letterpress that I'm not using in the actual print itself, and I put them in the 4 corners, so it gives me something to anchor on and hold on whilst I'm printing. And also, even if you were just using the press rather than hand burnishing, you would be able to hold it in the corner. As you can also see, I've drawn a bunch of lines where I've drawn like sort of into 4 quarters, and then also around the frame that I've made and inside of it, just so that I'm putting it in the same place every single time, and so I can make sure that every print is as sort of central as possible. But yeah, as you can see here, I am using the 4 corners just to straighten up and put the because I can't use the registration tabs, it means that I can put the already printed frame in the right place, but also it gives me something to hold on to hand burnish, and then also it just evenly distributes the weight a bit more when you're pressing it as well. I just feel like because it hasn't got a full frame around the whole thing, this is kind of the best way to go about it. So yeah, as you can see, this one here wasn't that perfect, but that was the first one that I did. But as you can see, a load of these did come out really great. I feel like the positioning is really good. I think it's really crisp. Now, the reality is I'm doing hand printed stuff. It's not going to be the most perfect impression, but I also think that's part of why people enjoy this type of product, and it's certainly why I enjoy it. Like, you can see that it was made by hand and made with living, laughing and loving. Overall, I'm actually mega happy with these these prints, and I have got a few more plans to bust out my letterpress again super soon and have some fun with it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is going to be me for the end of the video. I hope you're having a fabulous day, whatever you're up to, and I shall see you again soon. Bye!